Hey guys, so today's video is going to be the book scenario tag, and you guys probably have no idea what that is because it's a tag that I came up with. So this is based on a tag that has been circulating the beauty community called the beauty scenario tag. You guys may or may not know, but I do have a beauty channel. I've had that for about 3 years. So I took the beauty scenario tag and I kind of changed up the questions and made it suit like the booktube community. So I changed up the questions a bit and I added in one that I thought of on my own. So yeah, let's just get into the questions. So question 1 says you have to get rid of all of your books and you can only keep one from each of these genres: contemporary, fantasy, nonfiction, and one other genre of your choosing. What books do you keep? So the contemporary book that I would keep is Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. I know I've talked about this in a couple of videos before, including my top 10 influential books tag. This is just my all-time favorite contemporary. There's just so much that I can relate to in this book. So yeah, I have reread this over and over and I love it every single time. The fantasy book that I would keep is Twilight, the special edition. This is the book that's responsible for getting me into reading fantasy, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that as well. I know so many of my friends didn't read a whole lot until they read this book, and now they read all the time. So yeah, definitely would keep this one. The nonfiction book that I would keep is one that I actually just purchased, and it's Marilyn Monroe, The Final Years. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I didn't have a whole lot of nonfiction books to choose from, so this was a pretty easy one for me. But yeah, I love Marilyn Monroe. I think she is just incredible, and yeah, so I would keep this book. And the genre that I chose for the optional one was sci-fi or dystopian, and I would keep The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I absolutely love this trilogy. I cannot wait for the third and final book to come out. So yeah, I just really love this. I don't have a whole lot else to say about it, just that I love it, so I would keep it. Question 2 says, you're at the bookstore and you hear a teenager telling their mom that they don't like to read, they don't want to read, and their mom is insisting that they pick out a book. You walk over and recommend a book you think is great for people who aren't big on reading. What book is it? I would recommend My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. This was just a really great read. It was really cute, and I'm kind of assuming that the teenager is a girl here. Yeah, I would probably choose a different contemporary for a guy, but for a girl I would definitely recommend My Life Next Door. Really enjoyed this one. Question 3 is, you're not feeling yourself and you need a pick-me-up. Which book do you read to put yourself in a great mood? I would read Anything by Sophie Kinsella. I have loved pretty much all of her books except for one. I didn't really like Wedding Night, but I've loved all the other books that I've read. This one here is 20s Girl. Her writing is very fun and funny. Her books always put me in a great mood. Question 4 says, you go back in time to your teenage years. What book would you most likely have caught yourself reading? For me, this is Twilight. Any of the Twilight saga books I would have definitely been reading in high school, at least in like grade 11 and 12. Grade 9 and 10 I didn't read a whole lot except for books that were assigned by school, so yes, I read this, I think I read this twice during high school, this whole series. Question 5 says, your friend surprises you with a 4-day trip and you only have 1 hour to pack. What book do you bring for reading on the way? I would probably bring The Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. It's just a really great, easy read, but it's really entertaining, and I love this duology. There's a second book as well, Summer in the City. I just loved it, and I love Sex in the City, and this is about Carrie before Sex in the City. This is a really great book. Question 6 says, your house has been robbed, but don't worry, everyone is safe, but your bookshelf was raided. What book do you really hope is safe? The book I chose is the Barnes & Noble edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories. I could always repurchase it, but I love it so much. It's so beautiful and just a really nice book, and I like to look at it. And yeah, so really would hope that this book is safe because it's so pretty. And I had to order it from barnesandnoble.com, and I live in Canada, so the shipping was like $8, which is kind of dumb, but I really wanted this book, so I paid it. So yeah, this is the book I would hope is safe. Question 7 says, Your friend borrows a book and returns it in awful condition. Do you A, just pretend you haven't noticed, B, ask them to repurchase it, or C, secretly do the same to something of theirs? I would probably choose A. On the inside, I would be really angry, but on the outside, I would just kind of brush it off and act like it's not a big deal, because like really it's a book that likely cost under $20. So am I gonna get super upset over that? Probably not. My friendships are more important to me than like one book being ruined. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I would choose. So those are all the questions for this tag. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will have a ton of people tagged in the description bar below, because obviously no one has ever done this because I just started it. So yeah, check and see if your name is down there, and even if it's not, I want you to do this tag. So leave a comment down below with a link to your video if you do this, and I would love to check it out. And if you do decide to do this video, then feel free to add more scenarios to make it a longer video or whatever. If you have a really great scenario that you think would be a fun question, go ahead and add it to your video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!